Well, before the break, we just asked who you thought would be the most vulnerable to be replaced by AI and unable to find new jobs. One person said humans. Another person said Karens. Actually, the person that said Karens is more right than the person who said humans, because the data shows that AI will replace women, specifically women in rural areas in the workforce, according to new research. Now, what does that mean? It means we're headed for a new age industrial revolution that will leave behind mostly the women who we girl boss talked out of their homes to get jobs, say, as secretaries and administrators, because Sex and the City told them their lives would be fabulous if they prioritized a career over their home lives. Now, those ladies who live in rural America working administrative jobs, they're going to be left straight on their butts. Think about the first time this happened, when entire factory towns were depleted because those jobs were moved to India or China, men out of work, towns, schools gutted as people left these towns in search of new jobs. Well, this time it will be women who have the rug pulled out from under them, but the jobs won't be shipped to Asia. They'll be shipped to AI. And how will the government then tax this lack of slave labor that we no longer have? Well, don't worry, there's a plan in place for that too. Guess who will pay for it? The rest of us who still have jobs. The welfare state will expand. Government power will concentrate because of new dependents. The rest of us will pay for those who can no longer work, while the bots do it all. Fantastic, right? Let's look at the data. This study was published just a few months ago by the National Bureau of Economic Research. They're a North American research firm that's mostly funded by Wall Street and big business. Take a look at their funders. These are the companies that are obviously interested in this AI shift because it will be their workforce. Do we have the screen of the funders? Yes, those companies, Google, Fidelity, Exxon, Microsoft. These are the vanguard. Obviously, they want to know how AI is going to shift the workforce. That's why they are funding this. Now, the study looks at what's called AI exposure, meaning how likely is your job to be replaced by AI versus workers' adaptive capacity, meaning how likely are you to pivot and find something else to do to support yourself. They estimate that 70% of all AI exposed workers will be able to manage the job transition. I feel like that's highly optimistic.
Yeah, don't you think? Because the amount of learning you have to do to go through, to take training courses,
right.
And, even just have a cursory understanding of it is still pretty complicated for a lot of people.
So they're saying that of the, I think it's 200 to 300 million people who will be replaced by AI, 70% of them will be fine and be able to do something else. I don't know if that's a lateral move. Is that like, oh, you can't be an accountant anymore, you're now a line cook? I don't know. Like, they're just saying they will be able to do something. Okay. But 6.1 million workers will not be able to do something else. 6.1. 86% of those 6.1 million people are women, most of them living in the Mountain West or the Midwest. Now, let's look at it by profession, because they do give us this nice graph. What you're looking at here is the x-axis is the bottom line, meaning AI exposure. How likely is your job to be replaced by AI? So you see on the left, close to the center, is dentists. Obviously, they think dentists will not be replaced by AI. But really, the jobs that are going to stick around the most are labor jobs, electrician, builders, things like that. When you break it down by the least vulnerable, you see, again, in the red, this next chart, the professions like dentists, firefighters, software engineers, physical laborers. These are things AI will not replace, or at least cannot do alone, and needs humans. Now look at the higher vulnerability scores in the blue, meaning, actually, no, let's go to the red, the next one. These are people who will have the least ability to adapt. So what we're looking at is people who will be replaced by AI and have no ability to find new jobs. So what we're looking at is things like office managers, secretaries, receptionists, administrators, interpreters, executive assistants, insurance agents, claim processors. It stands to reason most of these are women. And these are not women who wear clothes like Anne Hathaway in The Devil Wears Prada. These are full-time women who are away from their kids mostly, not living the girl boss life that Sex and the City promised them, barely getting by to support their families. The feminist revolution pulled them into the workforce. Where will you think those feminist inspirational figures will be when these women are dropped on their butts? I just wonder what the feminist message will be for these invisible ladies who are left behind. Now, will they be able to go back home, go back, to a Leave It to Beaver type lifestyle? Well, many of them might like to, but they're not able because they have high mortgages, high levels of debt. Most of them don't have real partnerships with a husband who can help them. So that makes this impossible. Where will they go? It's kind of a daunting question I don't have an answer for.
Maybe back home with the children.
Well, I just offered that. They can't. Most of them can't.
Well, yeah.
Because their transition to the workplace came with the trap of a 30-year mortgage. It came with a trap of a high debt-based society. It came with the trap of a promise of, this like girl boss lifestyle that they cannot leave. And they're mothers. They don't have, this is not like, oh, Carrie Bradshaw quit her job, but she still can buy $200 stilettos. That's not what this is. Now, researchers say there are 4 ways to predict who can adapt to the AI workforce and who can't. Number 1 is just have a lot of savings. Be rich, you guys, and you're going to be fine. Be young, because workers over the age of 50 will have a harder time. Where they live, if you live in a city, you probably can find another job a lot easier than you live in a rural Midwest town. And whether or not they have transferable skills to what, I don't know. But that's kind of duh. So what does this all mean? This means an expanding welfare state. And who will pay for it? Well, you will pay for it through expanded taxes and fees if you get to keep a job. This was laid out in 2024 by the International Monetary Fund. In this document, they lay out a plan to have workers start right now, in fact, to pay into funds that will be used when AI takes our jobs, because they know that they can't tax the bots. See here, they call this the erosion of the income tax base. That means us, their tax slaves, will go away. So what does that mean for the rest of us? Well, it means some of us get replaced and pushed on the dole, expanding government powers in the welfare state. The rest of us, lucky us, if we get to keep our jobs, we get to pay more into running the system that has replaced our fellow man. Let me know what you think of this. It's dystopic. It's happening.
Yeah, when I say, I think you're right. Like, I was immediately thinking of universal basic income. Like, this will be, we keep hearing this from administration people. We keep hearing it from Elon Musk, this idea that, AI will will reduce famine, will have increased prosperity because productivity through AI will level the playing field. And then, I guess we'll have some sort of universal basic income. So these women won't need to work at these office jobs. They'll just be handed a check from the government as part of some sort of AI subsidy.
And then what? Like, it's not, this is not an empowered lifestyle they're pushing us towards, right? It's not like, oh, you're going to be a trad wife and be happy, and you have a husband who's working something and you are actually climbing the social ladder. No, this is, again, an expanded welfare state. This is an expanded dependency on the government. It's extremely concerning.
Yeah. Well, as people in the chat room are pointing out, feminism was always a psyop. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, please look at my interview with, what's her name, Rachel Wilson? Rachel, the woman who wrote the great book about feminists. Let me find it. Yes, that's exactly true. That's Will. The sort of feminist girl boss mantra has nothing to say about women who work office jobs and try really hard to support their kids who are in latchkey. That's not really for them. It never was. And they won't give a crap about them sort of losing that. And, PR is one of them, publicists, these sort of, heel-clicking city girls. They will have their jobs replaced by AI too, but they'll have some sort of new, I guess, bourgeois existence.
Yeah.
So, those are not the ones we're really that worried about. And the feminist movement never really was,
Thank you so much for watching Redacted. We'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. It's totally free if you want to follow us or subscribe. And if we brought you any value at all, please consider sharing this video with a friend or a loved one on social media. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.